Hello and welcome to today's video. Now in today's video we'll take a look at the Midcap Nifty, the Larsen Turbo Finance and Tata Motors. Now the Midcap Nifty is part of the usual series of the expiry videos which I do make every day. As every morning before the market opens, the expiry video for that specific day is released with whatever opinion I have on the general market too. So we'll be covering those today as usual, and I hope all who watched last week's videos on the pre-market made a good amount of money, as the indexes literally did how I said. And in fact I even shared on social media how the whole fall was caught from top to bottom, and then the rise was caught from bottom to top. So it was a very good week for me, clients, and even the viewers of the free videos on YouTube. Now coming to the indexes for this week, the indexes for this week will be guided by two factors. Number one, there will be excitement created by Prime Minister Modi's swearing in, which is happening today evening. Number two, what everyone will be looking at is whether there is a shuffle in the cabinet, as I do not think any serious market participant will want the cabinet to stay as it is. And the key position I believe people will be looking at is the finance ministry, because it's literally linked to the stock market. So now, and the health of the general economy. So now, I believe if the finance ministry does not see a change, then it will remove the shine of the Prime Minister swearing in terms of the market, and we might not even have a gap up, or if we have a gap up, it might not sustain. And so I believe the two factors which will affect the market is the Prime Minister swearing in on one hand, and who is the Finance Minister. If the Finance Minister stays as Nirmala Sitharaman, then I do not think that we will have much of a rise from here, as we'll form sort of a temporary top, and I will discuss the levels for Midcap Nifty in regard to that. If it is another Finance Minister is coming in, then we can have a very sharp rally towards the resistance levels at the top. So I see tomorrow being guided by who becomes the finance minister today in the evening. This is, as everybody knows, the lady who was there was not intellectually blessed to be the finance minister, and if there's a new person who is intellectually blessed, or even any new blood into the ministry, then we should do good. Now coming to the Midcap Nifty, I will drop to the 1 hour chart to cover the levels. This is, I have looked at it in one simple way. Now, the Midcap Nifty, due to having its expiry, that's why I put 4 levels on the up, 4 levels on the down. Now, the first key hurdle is 11,820, and this I believe will now be dependent upon, number one, the Prime Minister swearing in, which is now obviously going to happen, and the Finance Ministry. Now, if the Prime Minister swearing in has created all the positivity it has, and the Finance Ministry has had a change, then there is a high likelihood of us blowing through 11,820 and going to 11,950. However, if we have the Prime Minister swearing in causes a gap up, for example, but the Finance Ministry has not seen a change, then I believe 11,820 and 11,950, one of these two zones will be a top for the index. If both have Prime Minister office is sworn in and Finance Ministry has a change, then this will not be a top. The top will most likely be 12,080 and 12,160. This will cause a sharp up move to the highest resistance levels. So how will I trade as an option buy tomorrow in Midcap Nifty? As an option buy, if we break 11,820 and the change has happened in the ministry, then I'll be going long for 11,950 and 12,080, 12,160 even can be the target. On the other hand, if the Finance Ministry has not seen a change, then at 11,820 or 11,950, I will start looking for a shorting opportunity. I'll go long until those, and then start looking for shorting opportunity to come back down towards 11,680, as that is the critical support level. If we break 11,680, then 11,600 will provide some buffer, but we'll go down to 11,520 most likely, and we break that 11,440. So as an option buyer, as I said, if the Finance Minister hasn't seen a change, long until 11,820, 11,950. Only depend on the very short time frame, 3 minutes, let's say. On the other hand, if it's seen a change, then it's a long, which will be rather continuous until the top resistance levels which I have shared. Now, as an option seller, tomorrow again it will be fully determined by the same logic. If there is a change in the finance ministry, then you better start selling puts, as that's what's going to make money and expire at zero. If there is no change in finance ministry, then 11,950 and above calls, I believe, will make money. So the whole game tomorrow is revolving around one ministry, as there will be positivity because of the Prime Minister being sworn in, but people who also want to see some change, especially market participants, will want to see some change. Now we'll go to LT Finance first. Now LT Finance is one I already hold. I bottom fished it that day, shared my entry point. Now I believe LT Finance tomorrow can have a positive open due to the simple high volume bullish buy it has formed. And if you break the high of Friday, which is, we can say 170 rupees, then we can have an upswing until 175. However, 175 is going to be a task for the stock to break. If it breaks 175, then 182 is next. But if we break this, then I'll be around 175. I'll be taking out my profits most likely, as I've shown that I bottom fished the stock there. On the other hand, if you're not able to break 170, then I have kept a profit stop at 164.50. Profit stop for 70% of my position. The other 30% I'll determine when to exit, but I will be exiting it this week. This is, as I believe, once this euphoria is finished, things will have to come slightly down and then start the rise again. So that's how I'll be trading LT Finance. If it opens above 170, then I'll be looking for 175 and can even look at 182 if there's a lot of optimism if the finance ministry has changed. Or if it hasn't changed, then I'll try to book out either at the break of the high or at 175. So that is how I'll be playing LT Finance tomorrow. I do not believe anyone should go long at this point, as it will be a fool's errand, as we will have to go down in the coming sessions and you will end up getting hit pretty hard. Now coming to Tata Steel. Tata Steel is at a very critical level and it has formed a beautiful high volume bar here. However, the issue is the trend catcher is still below zero. So until that happens, this rise cannot materialize in a big way. So how do I see Tata Steel operating? I believe Tata Steel has two key resistance, 986 and 1025 as quant, and then it also has another simple candle resistance at 1008. So tomorrow, if we open positive and we take out the high, then we will have to see if Tata Steel is able to take out 986. If it is able to take out 986, then it might go up and test 1008 and then come back and close below 986. This is a very important resistance zone. And why I'm not seeing much positivity in Tata Steel, even though the pattern is the volume is 50-50 on Friday, and before that was weak, and the trend catcher is still above zero. And I don't believe the trend catcher can cross above zero unless there's a lot of positivity in the market. Again, I go to the finance ministry position. If that positivity comes into the market, then we can go to 1025, which will be the top. If that positivity doesn't come in the market, then 986 will be most likely the daily top. Intraday we can go above that, but daily top will be 986. And if we form a top any of here, then the first targets on the downside will be 935 and 950, as there is a critical support zone. And if we break that, then 905 to 915. So that is how I look at Tata Motors for the coming week as a whole. So overall, everything I believe will depend on the cabinet positions, who is put in, and the most important, I do not think Home Ministry will see any change, and I don't think anyone will mind the Home Minister Amit Shah to continue. But the only position which I believe will affect the markets is this finance ministry. A removal of the current finance minister will cause extreme optimism for 1 to 2 days, and then we can expect both the stocks discussed to hit the upper targets which I've given. If it's the same continuation, then we can expect them to form a top at the first resistance levels I mentioned, and then come down. So that's how I'll be trading the indexes tomorrow, and also the stocks. Thank you for watching, and do subscribe to the channel if you like the content.